All right, it'll be episode 49 of Beyond the Blast Doors this week on our YouTube channel. David here, one of your hosts, joining with you for a mock trial run of our live show. It's a really exciting time right now because after about a year and a half, it looks like we're going to be able to take this thing live. And so we're going to run through the show as we usually would do. If you join me at any time here in the live stream, be sure you comment in the live chat to the right side of your screen. Let me know what you think of the new look. And you're going to see a lot of familiar things as this plays out. You're going to see a lot of familiar visuals. You're going to hear some familiar sounds. And we're going to try a few new things. I'm going to try and identify some elements to enhance. And what I'd really appreciate is if you see something that you like or think could be changed, let me know what you think in the live chat. We'll have a conversation during this, and we'll have a live chat after this. But I want to keep this a really concise, bump the microphone. I want to keep this a really concise run through. That way, Steven, my buddies in St. Louis, that they can take a look at what I've done. And then they can say visually, okay, so we need to maybe tweak this graphic, or maybe we need to, do whatever. They're really smart guys. They're going to figure it out. They'll make me look beautiful. They always do. Okay, cool. So here I am. This is my intro. Sam Cooper is in the live chat. Big Lion Cat is in the chat. We are back. Where am I at, Big Lion? I'm right here. I'm talking to you, you beautiful man. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to dive right in. So as tradition, we'd always have an on-camera intro, just kind of BS for a couple of seconds. Last couple of weeks, we've been doing that before the doors closed and reopened, just trying to do something different. Who knows? But either way, right in before we go into real talk, we will always remind you to be sure you find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also subscribe right now to our YouTube channel, and be sure to ring the bell so you're the first to know when new content drops from your buddies here at Beyond the Blast Doors. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, subscribe, and never be afraid to drop that comment. We love continuing our Star Wars conversation with you. We start our conversation this week in Real Talk, the segment where if it's on the big screen, the screen at home, maybe it's on your iPad at home, either way, we're talking about it because it's Star Wars and it's Real Talk. So here we are on camera. I would have already thrown a second slate up there, and that would have been the thumbnail, the image, introducing the topic. Traditionally, what I'll do is I'll have an image, and then usually we'll wipe into a quote from someone referencing the topic. So, for example, one of the topics this week is Oscar Isaac on the pain of losing Carrie Fisher, and he's talking about his experience on set with not having Carrie there, but everyone's referencing Leia on set, and so he just talks about the emotional complexity of that. So I'd probably have an image of Poe and Leia in the background, and we'll have his quote there on the screen with an image of him, and then we would fade up to this shot. We would see the three of us talking, and we would have a conversation about that, and then we would just rinse, lather, repeat. Full slate, maybe we have a quote, maybe we have statistics, then we bring us back on camera. Real Talk, in case you're unfamiliar with the show, we do, I'd say 3 to 5 topics every week in Real Talk. It's about 3 to 5 topics where we break it down, have a really good conversation. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go watch episode 47 or just last week, episode 48. 2 really stellar episodes that we did. We're pretty proud of them. So Real Talk is over. We would then go to Pages, Pixels, and Pieces, which is pretty self-explanatory. But first, we got to thank our sponsors. Our sponsor is the Fantasy Shop in Maplewood, Missouri, proudly serving the St. Louis community since 1981. Proud to have our local comic book shop as our official sponsor. Comics, collectibles, toys, Magic the Gathering, and board games. The Fantasy Shop in St. Louis, like I said, proudly serving STL since 1981. And if you look at that graphic really quick, you might not notice it. This is a new one. It's not the final. I was just trying to whip something together for this live stream. But what you were seeing is the outside and a couple shots of the interior of the new location. So they're actually down the street a little bit and across the street next to the Schnucks. Way better location. It's a little bit bigger. But everything feels like it has its place when you walk inside. And so I'm showing you the Star Wars shelf. They have Magic the Gathering. They have those collectibles I mentioned. I mean, it's a really nice setup in there. And you can kind of see on the left side the comic book rack. It doesn't at all do it justice. But I just want to point that out. New location, super fun. Was in there last week over the Thanksgiving holiday. Saw Dave in the shop. And he could not be more ecstatic about the new location, and I think there's even still more goodness to come there. Okay, yes, big line. You need to support your comic book store. It is an absolute must. We got to keep these guys open. I don't think they're having a problem. They actually told me that they had like a huge jump in sales in the last fiscal year, so that's really impressive. Not only are they nerds, but they're also fiscally responsible. Blast Stores, what's up, my friend? Comics with Bueller is in the live chat right now. He's hanging out. And Bueller, this is a live test of the episode, so I'm trying to go through rapid fire when I have this live stream wrapped up shortly. But I want to give everyone a feel of what this would look like if it was just me. So that's the Fantasy Shop, Maplewood, Missouri. If you're ever in the area, go check them out. Tell them that you saw or learned about their shop on Beyond the Blast Doors. Then I would pop up on camera, and I'd look just like this. But again, my hair would be not so messy, and I would probably not be so bright. It's okay. We're learning. It's a process. So Pages, Pixels, and Pieces. We got a great segment set up for this week's conversation. We're going to be doing this Saturday. Don't think it's going to be live. I think we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is recording it and then post-editing it. But it's going to be way worth it. If we're this close to going live, it's worth it. But we're going to be talking about, the drama with Chuck Wendig getting fired from Marvel and the Shadow of Vader comic strip. It got stripped. It was a 5-issue miniseries. They just canceled the whole thing, even though 3 of the 5 were already complete. So, going to talk about that. We have Charles Soule giving a couple of hints of what he's going to be up to in the Star Wars galaxy after his Darth Vader run ends. If you didn't know, Darth Vader 24 dropped today. It was stellar. I really like this Momon character. I really wasn't sure what I would think when the character was first revealed, because Star Wars has never really officially gone into the old Republic era. I mean, obviously with the video games, but with this new canon era, this new Disney era, not sure how it approached. It worked for me. And we'll also be talking about the authors that are announced for Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, April of next year. We're going. I hope you're going. We'll see you there. So looks like we have Bueller's, yes, in the house. Sam, I'm looking for Ireland to show up. That would be Steven. He needs to see how great this is. Okay, great. So, something we traditionally do, obviously, is the comic book talk. So, why not show off the comic books? And so, I pull off, I don't know, the first 5 to 7 pages of the comic issue. I try not to give any spoilers away in what I show. Just some really cool thumbnails from the inside of 24. And so this is kind of how it would look. I don't think I like the background Blast Door, but not for this. I think I would rather go into Premiere and still produce a long strip, with the blurred background. So it'd be the panel in front of the panel, but the first layer would be blurred. I think that just looks a little bit sharper than this. So that will be one tweak that I'm taking notice of, and I will change that. For when we do take this thing live. And guys, I'd like to get your feedback. I know that this isn't quite set up for all 3, for David, myself, and Jesse to do a show. Obviously, we need to change location of the camera. Camera has to go on the other side of the room. I need a 4th person to operate the computer and flip between scenes while we're doing the show. So I'm going to have to acquire a 4th body. But as far as a one-person show, are you guys pretty excited about this? Do you like the look of this? As a one-person show, I think I can run this thing fairly seamlessly with a couple more reps. And I think this could be a really powerful way to have a lot better Star Wars conversation. I'm really proud of the last 2 weeks. I think we really upped our game with the daily content. But I think if I'm able to do a daily show, I mean, the potential here is really limitless. I mean, you're talking about we could do a Tuesday night comic book preview to preview New Comic Book Day on Wednesday, or we could do a New Comic Book Day, Wednesday show. There's a lot of ways that we can continue to create new content. I don't know, maybe you have like collectibles Thursday or cosplay Fridays. I'm not quite sure what we'll cook up, but there is I'm just like really excited. And so I appreciate you guys listening to me vent. So after Pages, Pixels, and Pieces, we go into Stash or Blast at that nice animated slate that Steven Hyman made for me. In case you are wondering, hey, how did he pull off all these cool graphics? Steve Hyman's my buddy. You let me know. I'll send you his professional. I'll send you his professional email, and he's really. I mean, I don't want to call him cheap, but he's really affordable. So I'm popping on back on camera for Stashed or Blasted just to show that the pain still continues to change. I have to go in here and update all the text. So like I said, I won't have to spend nearly as much time putting the show together, and it's not that I'm lazy. I'm just trying to use my time efficiently to allow me to create more content. So where I was spending like 3.5 hours, maybe 4 in post-production assembling and trying to sync all of the audio and the video, I mean, hour and a half, maybe 2. I mean, I can put on Rogue One, and in the time that movie takes, I can have everything ready to go. So I'm pretty excited about that. Staying on Target is the 4th segment of our show. We do this as a debate segment. It allows us to go a little longer. We have a new rule on the show where we don't want a topic to go more than 8.5 minutes. That's our goal. We don't want a topic to take any more than 8.5 minutes, because what we're going to do is, after that full episode goes, we're going to still slice up each individual category or each individual topic, and then upload those, because not everybody if you don't catch us live, you're more than likely just wanting to find out what you care about. So you might not care about the Cassian Andor live action series for Disney streaming service, but you care a lot about The Mandalorian. Well, we slice it all up into smaller bits. You don't have to watch the Cassian Andor conversation, but you can find out the latest on The Mandalorian. And so that's why we do that, and it's proven really successful. In the last 2 weeks, we have, I mean, we're talking about more than 2,500 views. We've got almost 30 plus new subscribers. We haven't seen that much activity and growth on our channel for about 3.5 months because we got so busy. So again, the live show allowing us, we really have no excuse to miss a week now. If the 3 of us can't get our schedules to mesh, I walk in here, I do a condensed version of the show, and we're still able to have our Star Wars conversation. Sam says, love the Stay on Target graphic. Dude, me too. And I know the graphic, it's Stay on Target. That's the topic. I'm going to go in here and I need to update the text because I have it saying Staying on Target because that's what we originally called it. But I think there was a spacing issue. So we're like, Staying on Target. So I'm going to refresh that. But yeah, it is sweet. I love the ships flying in there and those laser blasts and how they freeze. Steve Hyman, man, he does good work. Comics with Bueller, going live is easier. I need to do it more often. Yeah, dude, and Bueller, you're creating so much content that I feel like it would really benefit you if you would just be able to set it up to go live. And I'm talking to you in the live chat right now. In the past, we've had a talk via the fan com link. The fan com link is where we steal questions from Twitter and Facebook, usually just Twitter, and we throw them up here. We read them out. And then we, pop on camera and we're talking about them and we're trying to break down and just having the conversation. And because we're not live up until this point, that was really the only way to get us interacting in that recorded moment. So now what I'm hoping the fan com link is that we're able to say, hey, maybe at the end of Pages, Pixels, and Pieces, we're able to say, hey, just so you know, we're going to be taking your live chat, live Twitter questions towards the end of the show. Be sure you do that now. We'll select 3 or 4 of them, and then whoever our 4th body is, they will be able to pull that stuff together. And we'll be able to have those slates. I'm not sure logistically how that's going to work out. It sounds a lot more complicated. It might just be something where we have like a second webcam on our producer, and they're just reading out, hey, this is the question, talk about it. And that'd be fine too. But we go through a couple more questions. This was one we got from Melly Joe last week. And then once we do that, once we have the last question read, we're back on camera to say thank you so much, because that's the end of our show, and usually our show runs about anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. But like I said, if you can't catch us live, catch us on the rewind. If you're not able to devote the time to watch the hour-long episode, I love you if you did. But you can catch our single shots, and we'll give you the entire episode broken up. We do that to make it easier for you. It also helps us out. It has really generated a lot of traffic on our channel. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone that hung out in the chat with me while I did this. It means so much. This was not a legit show. This was a test run. This is to show all the guys that are working right now, hey, look, we have this cool ability. We can go live now. And I know that Jesse is really excited about it. He's a streamer. I know David's really excited about it because he's excited about being able to walk in here and show his latest haul of comic books and talk about them with you. I know Steve and Steven are excited about this because they've been trying to get me to do this for about a half a year. So we're all winners at the end, right? Thank you so much for spending this moment with me. I really appreciate it. If you want to give this a thumbs up, if you want to comment down below after the stream, it's greatly appreciated. We will be sure to respond. Hopefully the next time we're going live is going to be a refined product. I don't know if it's a comic book haul. It might be a conversation on Darth Vader with Charles Soule, but it'll be something. But hope you're joining us for that. And be sure you're on the lookout for episode 49 to drop this weekend. Should start dropping Sunday at noon. And that will run all the way through the week. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, like I said, you can always find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And may the Force be with you guys. We'll see you soon. Just so you guys know, I'm still actually here. We ended it. I just want to answer a couple more questions. We don't have a plan of when we will be doing the first live. We just know that the first episode 49 will go out starting Sunday at noon. Now, if we do figure out a way to go live, and we can go live this weekend, be sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for those updates. But as of right now, we will pre-record that episode. We'll push it out starting Sunday. Watch those videos all the way through. Hopefully that buys us time. If we're not able to get it done by the end of 2018, you should expect live shows 2019. Thanks, everybody.